Hey. Welcome back, everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome back to the stream. Hello to you guys that are here so far. I was 10 minutes late today because, again, I had thumbnail editing confusion, really, more than anything. Yeah, I'm getting better at the thumbnails, but I need to work on my timing of them. I spent ages before trying to get myself in the thumbnail, and it just weren't occurring. So, and then Bitcoin started pumping up, so I had to change the style of it and everything. So you guys let me know how you like the look of it. I mean, what's it? Yeah, it looks a bit funky today. Like I thought have a bit of autumn feeling in there. You know what I mean? Have a bit of autumn feeling in there. So that's what we've got. Let me know. Do you like pumpkin, the autumn leaf? Yeah, I think it looks all right. Not my best work. Not my best work by any means, but it's all right. It'll do, won't it? It'll do. Yeah. So welcome back to the stream, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you're all well. Who have we got with us so far? No one's commented. So please do, get your comments in. I like to read your comments. And let me know who we've got in. And please do drop a like, of course. Drop a like, get us going. But Bitcoin is at $123,000. Obviously dropped down last night and has pumped back up. So we are basically, and this, you may count this as a good thing, you may count it as a bad thing, but we are in another phase of consolidation now on Bitcoin. Now, how long it goes on for, we won't know. It's not even been going on for a week yet, so it's not the end of the world so far. But obviously, as we know, these Bitcoin consolidation phases can go on for quite a while. But yeah, it's only been going on for since basically we come up here. When it last Friday really was obviously when it got cemented. And as you can see, this area here, is basically just becoming one potential big trading range now. So yeah, that's definitely interesting to see on that front. But yeah, let me know who we've got in the chat. What are your thoughts on Asta price action at the moment? I think it's basically just a mixture of people taking profits and also getting chopped up. I do also believe the airdrop was the airdrop this week, I think, for airdrop rewards, obviously for people trading on them. I don't know how long it goes on for. If anyone's got, the correct information on that, let me know. But, if you zoom out, it's basically just not doing anything, is it? It's a bit choppy, which obviously is a recipe for getting chopped up. But really, when you zoom out here now, let's just move this a bit up. It's basically just ranging, isn't it? It's basically just ranging. Here is the current range. We have resistance up here, and then we've got support, demand down here. And that's all it's doing, basically. So I wouldn't say it's overly anything, really. Not overly bearish or bullish, according to the technicals anyway. We are just literally just wedged. Obviously, resistance, support. Now, obviously, the interesting thing comes should it drop below or obviously push above. So obviously, if we drop below towards 150, that's where we bounced last time. So again, that's obviously support until proven otherwise. So while we're in here, obviously the two main things would be, a break of support or a break of resistance. Until then, this is either, just a mixture of consolidation, so reaccumulation, bit of profit taking maybe, and just chopping people up. People will be trying to short this and long this like no tomorrow, won't they? Because it's the hot thing at the moment. But really, when you look at it, just zoom out a bit. When it comes up here, for the time being, obviously that's a short because that's where we're rejecting from. When we come down here, at the moment, that's a long. And again, they remain true until it either breaks resistance and goes up higher, or breaks support and comes down lower. And that is pretty much it. There's nothing really else to tell until we break one side. But yeah, thanks for your comment, Sean Stone. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. If you are new around here, please do drop a like. Let me know if you are new. A thumbnail, and it was a mixture between, I was trying to get a picture of myself in the thumbnail and trying to edit it and make it look good, and it just wasn't happening. And then halfway in between, Bitcoin started pumping up pretty fast. So then I had to kind of scrap my idea and start again. So I'm just going to start doing my thumbnail earlier on now. I'll just do it first thing in the morning, so it's done, and then just stick with it instead of it getting too close to the streaming time. So I was 10 minutes late today. But yeah, I was trying to get myself in the thumbnail. I wanted a cool pic of myself in, kind of Jordan gets, kind of how he gets himself in his videos, just a side on pic or something, something just a side on pic or whatever. That's kind of what I wanted to do, and I just ran out of time. So yeah, I was late for the stream. Only 10 minutes though, only 10 minutes. I'll take 3 weeks of Bitcoin consolidation means Alton memes could then send a bit. I'm kind of getting the opposite, Scottish. I'm kind of getting the opposite feeling. My kind of gut feeling and what I would say happens is, I think maybe Bitcoin just completely does its move in October, maybe. Just has like all its move in October. And then November is when alts boom and explode. That's kind of what I'm feeling at the moment anyway. Because we're consolidating right around all-time high. I don't know if it would take a good few weeks for us to now move. What I'm thinking is maybe we get something a bit different, is where Bitcoin is just kind of done come the end of October, and then November is where we see alt season. Powell speaking soon, is it? Okay, I didn't know that. Marios, how we doing? Versus hype. My thoughts on maybe Asta versus hype. I suppose it depends on what category you mean. If you're talking about like which platform is better, hype is miles better at the moment. Obviously, Asta can do a lot of development. They can make it look nicer. They can make it perform better. I've not traded on Asta yet, but I saw someone the other day tweeted like basically saying they had an open position and they didn't know how to like close a portion of it or whatever. There's no like, on obviously all exchanges you have kind of the toggle slider. Apparently there's none of that on Asta. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's obviously areas that they need to improve and stuff. So based on obviously the platform itself, I would say hype. Obviously hype is multiples bigger than Asta as well. But what I would say is, if you're looking at it as a turn of the size of Asta compared to the size of hype, what Asta has been created to do, I would say over time, and obviously with who's backing Asta, who's backing Asta, I would estimate that the gap gets closed. Now, whether the gap gets closed in terms of user experience and interface and stuff, obviously is a different question, innit? But I would say in terms of value, the Asta team, and obviously with CZ being on board, Binance being mixed in there a bit, their objective will be to at least, get close to hype, if not try and pass hype in terms of obviously number one DEX perp. What's the thoughts on Powell today? Is he going to play nice? I didn't even know he was speaking, to be honest. What time is he speaking? Oh, no, he is. Yeah, that's right, because I put it in the CSE newsletter. I don't think we'll get anything, to be honest. We've got FOMC coming up, haven't we, in around about 2 weeks, maybe just a bit over 2 weeks. I think it's on the 30th of this month, in FOMC. So I don't think he's going to say much. I don't think he's going to say much that will blow our minds. Have you covered Swiss Borg before? Yeah, we've been looking at Borg a lot, and Borgy too. But yeah, we've been looking at Borg a lot. Where is it here? Obviously, great run, and we basically traded it all the way up, Sean, in terms of planning the trades. All the way up. Obviously, we started off down here, and then obviously the plan was get above this grey area, and then target 50 cents next. So we got above, then retested, and then went to 50 cents, which was all good. And then the next one was 50 cents to 65 cents, which was all good. And then obviously looking for anything closer retest, which it came back down on this candle and done. So yeah, we've just been kind of plotting out the levels for Borg. So my next levels on Borg will be 77 cents, 93 cents, and then 141, which I think is the all-time high for me anyway. And it is consolidating nicely, obviously below this resistance. If we zoom out a bit, and we zoom out so we can get the rest of the price action that we're looking at. Obviously this was a just very standard SR test, wasn't it? We broke above, then we come down and retested previous resistance for support, held, and then bang. That was some local resistance that we had there as well. And then 50 cents was a key level, which we broke, obviously into supply here. But then, I think the 77 cents one came from, I don't know if it was a weekly level or if I pulled it from the daily. I think it was a weekly, judging obviously by how the daily candles look. Because obviously you'd probably put it up towards 81. So 77 must have been a weekly level alongside 93. If we go to the week, let's see. Yeah, so they're week. Yeah, they're weekly levels. So you know they may differ a bit. So far, so good. Yes, so far so good. But I mean, really, there's not that much to go. When you're looking at it like this, there's not that much to go. Oh, there's $2 as well. What's $2? That must be just a psychological number. But yeah, there's not really that far to go. I mean, yeah, you know, you could move this up to there wherever. But yeah, it should move. Obviously, really, this is the big gap. You know, once it gets over $1, that's the big gap then for fast expansion up towards there. Maybe I need to redo the levels if we're looking at the daily instead of the weekly. That may be a good thing to do. But it's traded great, and then obviously, you know, the other one, Borgie. This thing, obviously, since they relaunched it, didn't they, or they did something. I don't know what it was. Did they change the contract, or they did something anyway, didn't they? But I mean, this thing has just been relentless, hasn't it? Alongside Borg, you know, solid like 3-4x. Well, actually 5x. So yeah, I mean, if you look at them side by side, they're almost basically the same chart, aren't they? They're almost basically the same chart. So yeah, both of them doing really well, really well. Brucey, how we doing? Lawrence, great to see you. Trump is floating, dishing out 2K stimulus checks from GovSaving. I know, I saw that, yeah. Give the liquidity for the final rally, eh? I've struggled even putting stop losses on Ast. Is that true? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and then the whole thing, I don't know if you've seen it, Sean. It got removed from DeFi Llama because they said like there was just a bit of irregular volume coming through, and DeFi Llama couldn't validate where it was coming from and stuff. It seems a bit. It seems a bit weird. I mean, if you struggle putting stop loss on it, or it's not even got the basic trading tools, how is it doing more volume than Hyperliquid? I don't know. Why is Zebcast moving like crazy? I think there just seems to be some sort of privacy coin narrative, to be honest. I think that's just some privacy coin narrative going on in the background. Afternoon, Loki. You don't think it'll make new all-time highs this cycle? What bug? Could do, yeah. Oh yeah, it could do. I did have. Yeah, I got some. I mean, obviously, I think this is the all-time. Is that? No, it's 166 in it, like the all-time high. Yeah, I mean, obviously 166. It could do. It could do. Yeah, it could full well do. I mean, when you look at it on the weekly expansion hasn't really done overly much, has it? Really, yet. It's still really just getting started, the weekly expansion. But yeah, there's no reason why it can't. There's no reason why it can't. Just obviously, you approach that bridge when you come to it, don't you? We've got no data for up here. You can draw. I think these two are fib retracements. I think they're fib retracements that I've drew $2 and then 267. Maybe from the high to the low, I'm guessing. I don't know. But I mean, we deal with that once you get up there, don't you? It still needs to move through these levels first. It needs to move through the levels before anything else. But it's doing marvelously well. It's doing marvelously well. Yeah, I mean, ZEC had a crazy move, didn't it, last night? I think it was up like 40%, wasn't it? It was up like 40% last night. And then, so yeah, obviously this is now approaching 211, 242. Obviously Monero getting a bit of a pump with it. But has anyone traded this yet? So obviously I was showing you guys this all this week, Zen. And it had already had a rally up from around the $6 mark and then consolidating. But as I mentioned about obviously this being a much lower cap one compared to Monero and Zcash in the privacy sector. And yesterday, I mean, it just went on a tear alongside Zcash. It was up a solid 30-40%. So I don't know if anyone caught that or not. But that was another runner. I mean, let's move this up and we'll just put them all together. Where are they? Where are they? Oh, there. yeah. So yeah, they're doing really well. AVAC's going to break support or be supported by uptrend on daily. Let's see. Make sure everyone's dropped a like as well. How many likes have we got? Come on, guys. Let's fix this. Fix the like count. On 7 likes. Come on. I'm worth more than 7 likes, surely. Take a second. Please do go and drop a like. I mean, it's got plenty of room still, sure. Scotty, it's got plenty of room. This is the SR here. This is the SR. So really, it could drop down towards $26 and still be fine. I mean, obviously, this kind of front run it a little bit on Friday the 26th. It kind of front run it a little bit. Front run my alerts as well, but I think AVAX looks fine. I mean, yeah, it could even come in, for a test of $26 and still be fine. Really, anyway, as long as it holds in this box and doesn't start trading below $26 on the daily. I mean, you could get a liquidation. You could get something fast. You could get something fast, and it forms like a long, lower wick like this day. But as long as it stays above $26 for dailies, daily closes and stuff, I don't think it looks that bad at all. So it's still got some room. It's still got a solid, probably around 7-8% that it could drop before, obviously, it even comes into there. But I think it looks fine, yeah. Nothing to worry about just yet, in my opinion. But yeah, that's AVAX. I mean, alts have been struggling today. They've clawed back a little bit, haven't they? They've clawed back a little bit, but XPL is just getting absolutely obliterated now. I need to get the better chart up of this. Where is it? Here, the one with previous data. Yeah, so obviously we mapped this out earlier in the week, looking for lower on XPL, and it's basically within there now. Now, again, this doesn't mean it's a long. It doesn't mean it's a buy. We could go lower into the box, but this is where you would want to see support and demand come in for sure on XPL. This is where you would want to see it. But yeah, it could, it could go a bit lower. It could do anything really from this point on. Obviously, just massive amounts of profit taking. But this is what we drew out, obviously, in this area here, above 85 cents, looking for just one more leg lower into here. So let's see what happens from this point on. Obviously, Aster, yeah, we looked at Aster before. Everything's kind of bounced back a bit, hasn't it? Given that Bitcoin's bounced back. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, Scotty. Anything for you, mate. You know that. Anything for you. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing real much going on, is there? There's nothing real much going on. Everything's kind of either holding support and resistance, or maybe just waiting to come into a good level. I mean, you look at Sol, it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's got resistance up here. Down here is obviously where we'd want to see demand. Maybe a bit higher up. You could argue maybe up towards here. You could argue something like that for sure. But even still, it would still have lower to go before it gets into maybe a value area. ETH, obviously, that was just a great short, weren't it? We covered that last week, looking to trade ETH into here. Traded it into there on Tuesday, and then bang, slam dunk. There we go. Thanks very much. And again on ETH, there's not a whole lot, is there? Until maybe we come into this kind of area, 4.2 maybe. So I don't know whether that suggests more downside, or maybe we're just going to kind of front run anything. BNB is doing exactly as we thought, and it's just literally consolidating. So look at TLRY. The insiders were on the money. Yeah, I forgot about that. Did you? Oh, you did. You bought some calls for this, didn't you? Oh, it's up 15-16%. Wow. You bought some calls for this, didn't you? Yeah, that's doing nice. Tell you what else is nice. Have you seen that Nvidia's set to open at all-time high? Nvidia's set to open at nearly 193. Just absolute gift. I'm gonna slap some more of this today. Yeah. So. Oh. There we go. But yeah, everything's everything's looking quite juicy. Hello, Stonkers. Do you know what? I actually used that this morning, Nick, on the Twitter. I said, "Good morning, Stonkers." Oh, look who it is. It's Chad. Chad's in the chat. How we doing, Chad? Yeah, you do love it. You do love it. Where's Chad? Yeah, Chad's in the chat. The boy, Chad. What happened to that Chinese meme you bought? I sold it for a 2x. Sold it for a 2x in the end. Annoying because it did actually go 4x. It went 4x, and I kind of just got caught up in the moment and didn't sell it, but I did end up selling it for 2x. And Wiz actually knows that I'm not bullshitting too. I did actually tell Wiz when I sold. I know Wiz got a good couple of X on it as well. Wiz done very well on Dust too, which was something else that I called and fumbled. But yeah, that one, and it was a good call, to be fair, because it's now like 50% below where I entered. I think all B&B memes have just been absolutely slapped overnight. I mean, if we go on deck screen, I don't know if we can select. Can we select B&B chain? How do we do this? Last 24 hours. How do we select what chain? I've never really delved into deck screener that much. Can we select what chain? I don't know if we can or not. But if you look at obviously some of these memes anyway on BSC, so you got this one here. I think that was the one that actually Steve was in. That's minus 36%. Palu minus 55. 4 minus 33. Binance Supercycle minus 62% in the last 24 hours. Look at this one. B&B holder up 6,000%. Bloody hell. Is that real, huh? Yeah, bloody hell. Look at this one, Wiz. And everyone else, I suppose. Look at that. That come out this morning, 7 o'clock. Literally like 6 hours ago. And it's up to 72 mil. Christ. Crazy. But yeah, obviously a lot of them have been slapped. You know, there's one of the Chinese ones, minus 56%. Yeah, so I think, yeah, you have to be very selective. Was that Yepe? There's Yepe. What's that? That's gone up, Wes. Did you end up getting back into that? That looks like it's gone up about 20% since we looked at it in the lounge. Yepe. How do, Sean? Great to see you. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's having a time of it, isn't it? Look at that. Nice, solid push up since about 9 o'clock this morning. Going back towards yesterday's high. And as you can see, everything looks a lot more healthy now. Everything looks a lot more healthy. It's kind of some things. If this carries on in about an hour, this whole watch list will probably be green or almost green. This thing, Christ. The thing with this is people will just keep trying to short this. I mean, look at the state of that. That is actually unreal, isn't it? It's gone from 40 cents to a 15x in 4 days. Stonksy went green on it on Sunday too. I mean, that is just ridiculous. The thing is, what's this called? Co-AI. The funding rate on this thing, I imagine, will just be so negative because people will keep trying to short it, which will keep feeding the drop. Let's see. Is it on? Yeah, here it is. Let's see the funding rate on this. Oh no, to be fair, the funding rate's positive. The funding rate's positive, so maybe it's spot demand. I don't know. Maybe it's spot demand that's driving this. I don't get why people bother with memes. Ain't it just straight gambling? I would probably call it strategic gambling. Yeah, I'd probably call it strategic gambling. I would say it's a kind of a mixture between gambling and the lottery in it. Really, that's probably how I would say. It's a mixture between like a pie of a third lottery, a third gambling, and a third strategy. Because you can play memes strategically. If you see something and you think that is something that looks like it'll catch on, then obviously your strategy is just trying to get in something that is. But then also, you've got a mixture of it being a lottery ticket and gambling. So that's what I'd say. I'd probably say it's like a pie made up of 3 sections: gambling, strategy, and lottery. Yeah. Do we know when Sol ETF is getting done, bud? Are they not done? I think they're done, aren't they? I thought Sol had because they removed the whole process out, didn't they? The SEC, and basically said like, any of them can list as long as they've been trading on Coinbase perps, I think, for 6 months, or just straight trading on Coinbase. I don't know which one it was. I thought the Sol ETFs had gone live. Maybe they haven't. Let's see. What's going on here? Is it doing it or not? No? Oh, no, they're not. I thought they had. Oh, wait, hang on. With final decisions starting. Oh, right. So the final decisions are in tomorrow. Or maybe Monday, I'm guessing. So maybe we could see them go live next week. That may be something that comes in. It makes me feel alive. It brings out our natural primal urges. What? Meme coin trading? To be fair, I don't think there's anything better when you get a meme and it just starts, because the thing with memes is they just go up so fast, don't they? Like, can you imagine getting in this thing? Where was that one then? B&B older. Like, can you imagine buying this thing this morning? Like, imagine buying this thing this morning. Why has this gone up so much? It's literally gone from 0 to 75 mil. It's got $328 million of volume. Crazy. But can you imagine buying this thing down here and then, like, literally an hour later or 2 hours later, you're up like 10, 20x. Like, there's just nothing else that can do that, is there? As our good friend Mr. CZ tweeted about this or something. Let's see. No? Oh, unless maybe he's I don't know. You can't keep up, can you? Has he maybe replied to it? I don't know. No, I don't know. Fuck knows. Honestly. Fuck knows. Maybe Sol ETF, but for EU and Canada, not for us yet. It seems like the decision is tomorrow, to be honest, because obviously the 11th is Saturday. So I can't imagine they're going to be doing anything on Saturday. So it seems like the decision is tomorrow, to be honest, Nick. That's what Grok said anyway. So yeah, that's what it seems like. Wiz, why did you not tell me to buy this morning? Hey, why did you not tell me to buy this morning when it was at like 5 mil market cap? It's just, it went to 165 mil. Like that is honestly just ridiculous, isn't it? Like, this must have been strategically launched by a group of people. There is no way that this has just happened organically. Like, literally 7:30 this morning, and then not even an hour later, it's 165 mil. There is no way that this isn't a cabal that have launched this. I mean, imagine seeing this going, oh, it's a. To be fair, what even is that? Is that 23? Imagine, yeah, you see this. Imagine seeing this at like 5 mil or something. Like, oh, I'll just get in on this. To be fair, that's not even 5 mil. That's 22. I don't know what's happened with this thing. I don't know. There's no point in thingoing it. I mean, what else is going on? You got one B&B. That's 5 mil market cap. But that is ridiculous. It's 6 hours old and it's at 76 mil. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it is. I mean, look at it all. It's just full. It's just full of Binance Smart Chain coins in it. You've got one Solana one there, and then you've got Binance Smart Chain all down. Another Solana one. Another Solana. It's just full of Binance Smart Chain. Was that a Polygon one then? Yeah, it's a scam one, isn't it? There's no way that's 3.9 bill. So yeah, what is this thing doing? Just still chilling. To be fair, Dave, I did suggest long in Bitcoin and ETH. Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's been a nice bounce so far, hasn't it? It's been a nice bounce so far. Look at that. Look at that. Tell you what I'm going to do right now, Wiz. I am going to go and buy more of the NVIDIA short ETF. That's exactly what I'm going to go and do now. Yeah, because it's at 192 pre-market. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to do it right now before we move on. Afternoon, Gordo. How we doing? Let's see. There we go. What's this at? 161. Boom. There we go. Bought some more of NVIDIA short ETF. Bitcoin looks ready to reverse this move up. Do you think so, Loki? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that calls for, doesn't it? That calls for getting the poll up. Loki thinks that Bitcoin's ready to... There we go. So the poll's up. Go and vote in the poll. Let's see if all of you have liked or not. That's not bad. That's not bad. Those of you that haven't liked, please do scroll down, hit the like button. It does help out the channel, probably more than you know. Where's the chat gone? Where's the chat gone? There we go. What's this thing doing? This thing's come down a bit. I mean, that was a great call, wasn't it, by Short Video Guru? What a call. Cake's coming down. This thing just doesn't stop selling off, does it? To be fair, it's leveled off a little bit. To be fair, tell you what, Wiz. Someone injected a fair bit there, didn't they, on Tuesday? But this thing maybe has leveled off a bit. Oh my! Look at Zek. Did anyone? I don't know if you did or not, Wiz, but did you look into this when I mentioned it? Zen, the low cap privacy coin. This one ran super hard yesterday with Zcash. Super hard. It was up like 30-40% yesterday. But Zek just keeps running, doesn't it? It just keeps running. 211 next, and then 242 for my levels. Got some spot. It did fantastically well yesterday. It did fantastically well. Dash has also been running quite hard. Obviously, another Dino one. I don't think Dash is, not that I know of anyway. Off the top of my head, maybe it is. I don't know. I can't remember what Dash does. It's that old. But obviously, this has been running super hard around the same time. Not as much as Zcash, like, but it's done a solid like 50% currently on it. Yeah, I enjoyed buying some more short ETF on that then. It felt good. Felt good. But yeah, you guys let me know what you want me to look at next. What do you want me to cover next? Open to any ideas as usual. Let's see. And I mean, the heat map. There's not really much point, I don't think, looking at the 24-hour because you're just going to have hotspots, obviously, between the highs and lows. Obviously, as you'd expect, we have some liquidity below the lows of yesterday and today, considering we come back down and retested close to it. In terms of a 1 week time frame, obviously big liquidity towards the top, and again same outlook on the 1 week with liquidity towards 120 and below. But yeah, I mean the heat map's not really changed that much. You're just looking at the range, aren't you? As you can see it clearly there. Liquidity above the highs, liquidity below the lows, and that's all we're fixed with at the moment. Dave, you can leverage trade it on chain on the site I sent. Yeah, no, I need to have a look at that as well. Yeah. The problem is I feel a lot more comfy in the ETF instead of leverage trading it. I feel a lot more comfy in the ETF. That's the thing. Aster. I mean, yeah, look at Aster. Aster's honestly, if you just remove the noise, and you just look at it on a decent enough time frame, Aster is just so easy. Like that is literally just Aster. You know, you've got resistance up here on the 4 hour. You know, you can see there, obviously, wicks higher, but candle closes pretty concrete in and around this 213 level. So that is obviously resistance of it. You know, you got demand down here. You know, we had demand, obviously dropped down, flipped to resistance, reclaimed, demand. So this is obviously support. So there's Asta is literally just support to resistance. Support to resistance trading, you know, just between here and here. And then obviously the opportunities outside of that are if it breaks down towards 150, obviously it moved from 170 to 150, or if it breaks above and starts, you know, if it closes a 4-hour candle above there, then obviously the move up towards the highs, however you want to draw them. You know, just anywhere in there. Until then, it's just obviously range bound, reaccumulation, consolidation, whatever you want to call it. My PA was so on point for it. Yeah, it's so easy to trade, isn't it? Because there's not that much data as well. Because there's literally not much data. This was just a run up. This is the range that it's formed at the moment. That is basically the majority of the data that we've got. You know, all this data is basically useless until if it started breaking below 150, then yeah, we'd start, you know, looking down towards 130. But apart from that, it basically just this data onwards from obviously the build up to the high and then the consolidation and drop off. It's just basically this data onwards is all we need. How's Epic looking? It's a good question. Let's see. Is it looking epic? Bloody hell, no, it's not. Oh, actually. Yeah, I mean, this whole area here is just SR in it. That's just that whole area, just SR. Obviously, this was previously resistance, drop down. Oh, that move was mad. What a mad move that was. But again, you know, this is just SR, so it's not actually looking too bad as a first thought until I zoomed out. It just needs to hold this box, doesn't it? Problem is, if it loses that box, then it probably is coming like down in towards $1. So that is literally like just the biggest separation ever. Like, you know, it could dip a bit lower. You know, it could dip into here, and I would probably say it's still. It depends how you draw your box, doesn't it? Like, if you just give it a bit of room, because it could wick in. You know, it could wick in and still close the daily fine. I mean, if it's just say, for instance, if it closed the daily candle below 150. Then I would probably say, oh, that's a cause for concern. And then you'd probably then want to see it have a strong reclaim of like 170 to be sure. But until then, obviously, it is just testing support. So, yeah, what I wouldn't say is that anything overly much on it at the moment until we get some clearance, obviously, at higher or drop down. Apart from that, obviously, we've got resistance up here, so this has formed one trading range here, just one range there. If we get above there, then we're probably coming in towards there. And then apart from that, it's just maybe just maybe get a bit there, maybe. But then it's obviously on the run towards the highs then. You might not even really test that much, to be fair. You may just come in for a clean check of that zone. That makes it a bit more clearer, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I'd say. Nothing really to be concerned about until it loses here. I am just going to go run to the toilet, though, obviously, before we get settled for US Open. So in the meantime, make sure you've dropped a like, make sure you voted in the poll, and of course, take this chance to go and get a drink yourself, go to the toilet, whatever, and get your comments in the chat, any tickers or discussion points for when I get back. And of course, I'll just be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Right, I am back. How are we all? How are we all? Sure you all missed me greatly. Sure you all missed me very dearly. Alright. We've got US Open coming in 25 minutes, so that should be fun. Yeah. Let's see what we get. What's MSTR? What's some of these stocks doing pre-market? Not down too badly, to be fair. This had a strong retrace, didn't it? This was down 8% on Tuesday. Yeah, it was down 8% on Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah. Strong retracement there. Decent pullback from obviously where it got up to the other day. Coin, ferociously good. What is Gemini? Gemini's took back off a bit. Holy hell. Yeah, this was a big mistake not buying this when it was down here. This was a big mistake last week. So basically 100% now from where it settled off. Wow. Yeah, you were talking about AMD, weren't you, Wiz? Yeah, another 11% up. Fig had a great day yesterday. What else have we got? I need to add some more stocks on, to be fair. We need to add some more. All these are pointless because they're all just this one was one. Wait, this one was one I was interested in because it got a retrace all the way back down to where it started. So this was a wild one. This was one that went from, look at that, what it did after announcing a strategic reserve. But again, this was one that come up, and that's like, approaching 100% up off the floor. Now, but a lot of these I need to get rid of because these are just treasury companies that some of them are just really small and just pointless to have on. I don't know what this one is, the Smarter Web company. This is one that, I don't know what this is actually. That's obviously come back to the starting point. I don't know whether this is anything. I don't know what this company is. Where is it traded on? So this is on the US market, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is on the US market. Yes, how we doing, Stonkers? Shits and gigs. Can we check XRP? We can do, yeah. No, I don't think I've checked XRP in a while. It's below $3. It's just back into demand, yeah. There you go. There's literally nothing changed on XRP. There's I don't know when we drew this out, but there's literally nothing changed. I mean, you could tidy this up a little bit if you wanted to pull it down wherever you want to hold this box, but we basically just did the same, didn't we? We come down at the end of September, back into demand, and it was literally just basically what it's been since August, just rinse and repeat. Came back into demand around 275, then push up into resistance around that $3.10 mark, and then drop back down to Thingio. So we're literally just wedged. We're just wedged inside there. And this still applies. We break above here, get above this resistance, and then it's on towards 330, and then above there, on towards 355, and then obviously the high of 366. But yeah, you want it to hold that as well. You want it to hold that. You could see something like this. Maybe we get something like this where it drops below, And obviously then everyone will be interested in kind of looking for this area around like $2.40, $2.30-ish. But maybe it just does something like this where it does something like that. That is on the cards because we see this pattern a lot, don't we? I've talked about this pattern a lot where you have obviously a range level. And, we've saw this Bitcoin do this and ETH do this and everything do this, where it ranges and then you get the fake out and then you get the reclaim and then you get the expansion. So if you're looking at XRP, this, you could also refer to it as a power 3 if you wanted, without drawing it on. You could refer to a power 3 or whatever. But, we've had the consolidation. Maybe we get one little fake out to the downside at some point and then reclaim. And then from that point, you'd be looking to trade it up to here, but really looking for expansion. So that's it on XRP. That is literally it. Stonksy's still green on the daily as well from down here towards $2.20-ish. And that is literally it. If anyone else got anything you want me to run through, do let me know. Of course, make sure you drop a like on the stream. How are we doing? How are we doing for likes? Yeah, not bad. Not bad. 19 likes, 20 viewers. All good. And of course, if you're looking to trade anything anywhere, I will throw the BLOFIN and KCEX links in the chat for you legends. There you go. And let me pin the BLOFIN one. Bang. Yeah, that's obviously what we're looking at on XRP. Hello, Delta. How we doing, mate? How are we doing, the Delta fella? Great to see you. Nice call there by Stonksy. Tell you what. Let's see how this thing is doing. That's just still hanging around there, isn't it? The problem with this is there's no sell pressure. Annoying as hell. Oh, look at that. That went all the way up to 16 cents. Today. Earlier today. Yesterday. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, things in Babylon. Yes, things in Babylon. Beautiful day here in Southwest. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Yeah, it's not bad. I've not been outside much today, to be fair. I walked to the office this morning. That is my extent of being outside so far. I may walk home. I may not. I don't know yet. But yeah, that's the extent of me being outside. What about you? Anything else that anyone's interested in? Has anyone got their eyes on anything? This thing's been slammed, hasn't it? Thing's been absolutely slammed. Mix. Still interested in this. If you can just drop another 50%, that'd be great. Yeah, still interested in that. AVAX. Yeah, we'll cover AVAX again. AVAX is very easy, really. AVAX just on the 1 day is all you need. And yeah, like we looked at before, you know, we've still not come in for like a proper. We did have this wick here, but we've still not come in for really a proper retest of previous resistance. So if we do get that, yeah, anything down to 26 is fine, as long as we don't start closing the daily candle below 26. I think it looks all right, AVAX. And that's really ultimately it. You know, unless you're trading it, you know, maybe you're looking for some short-term trades. But you know, if you look at it on the 1 day, you know, I mean, if we end up getting a full retest of this zone, then it will be a gift, in my opinion. Obviously, we had it slightly here, but not really, because that was just a very quick wick. If you get like kind of a daily close down into like 26.5, then your risk reward is great, because you know you can put your stop towards back into the range, and then obviously if it closes below there, then it's just back under resistance then, so you've got easy invalidation. That will be one of the best trades, in my opinion, if we can get AVAX back down towards 26.5, maybe even 27 solidly. Then the risk reward obviously is there, because you've got clear SR. So it's definitely, yeah, it's on the list, and I still got my alerts. It front run my alert last time, so I didn't manage to get in on it. But Link again, let's see what Link's doing, shall we? What is our good buddy Link doing? I mean, there you go. Look at the level. Oh, look at the levels on Link. Look at the levels on Link. The levels are just so clean, like we always say. But you look at that, literally to a T, weren't it? What we were looking at, you know, above this grey area, straight into here, and that's what it done. You know, above the grey area, straight in towards 24, done, and then obviously as fell back below. So yeah, but really solid on Link, and obviously you can see it's testing the real depths of support now. I don't think it probably comes all. It could come all the way down here, but obviously we'd need a deeper pullback on Bitcoin. I think if it drops below this area, I think, you know, anywhere in and around $21 would probably where we'd be looking for a bounce on Link, unless Bitcoin takes like a real tumble back down towards like 115, 16, 17, whatever. But yeah, Link looks real nice. Yeah, 25 people watching. Please do drop a like if you haven't. If you're new, subscribe. If you are new as well, let me know in the comments, where have you come from? Where did you see the YouTube stream? Was it on YouTube? Was it one of the links? Whatever. Do let me know, because I'm keen to know where we have new viewers arriving from. So if you are new around here, don't be shy to get involved in the chat, and yeah, do let me know where you saw the stream and where you've jumped in from. H bar. Let's see. H bar there. Yeah, we're just still back within there, aren't we? We probably need to swap this out for a box, because obviously we've got kind of wicks and and demand flying in from all places. Practically the same from where we just had that at that level. And pretty much, again, this is another one where it's just not really moved, a lot like XRP and others. It's just not really moved. This level, I think, is derived from like the 4 hour maybe. So it's not just wedged in the middle of daily candles for no reason. Obviously on the daily, and you see this on the 4 hour or whatever, compression down here would be an area of interest, but I think that level is derived from the 4 hour. I think, anyway. Shouldn't have just come out of nowhere. But yeah, it's just another one trapped between 4 hour. It's just another one that's trapped between support and resistance. And I suppose for this as well, you know, if you do like alternative things, you know, you could draw yourself a diagonal on this as well. You know, you could draw yourself a diagonal. However you want to do it. So you could definitely add a diagonal in there as well if you just want kind of an extra look at it, or an extra confluence or whatever. So obviously, while it's got support and resistance up there, you know, maybe you're looking for, right, okay, well, we've broken the downtrend from the August. Now you're going to target that, but obviously maybe a bit more confidence that it may break out up to here or something. So that's what you could add to that. But practically the same. Nothing has changed on it. Literally nothing. And it's the same for a lot of alts as well. Nothing real changed. But, you know, it's literally the same. You break below support, trade it in. It'd be looking, area of interest would be like 19 cents, I think. Maybe just in and around 19 cents for a reaction. And then, of course, from here, you know, you're either looking from support to resistance, or like I said, you know, maybe if you like your diagonals, you maybe want to wait for like a trend line break and then look for in towards here, and then obviously in towards there. That's literally it. There's nothing else real going on until then. Obviously higher, but need to break these levels first. That's kind of where we're up to with that. You know, same for Sui. Again, just nothing changed. There's nothing changed, is there? And the thing for this as well is this is just putting another lower high on it. It put in a lower low, and it's just putting another lower high. So, you know, you got high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I don't know whether this would be supported, because obviously you would imagine we'd need something to, unless Bitcoin consolidates and instead of alts going up in consolidation, we get dominance going up and altcoins bleed. But really the highest risk reward, I think, would be Sui coming in towards that 190 area, maybe down to 290, maybe down to like something like 285 or whatever. But if it pulled into there, you can see that's the origin of the move back into a key area. That's probably what you'd be looking at. And then obviously, you know, you'd get one more low, which would then become the low, to then look for higher lows and higher highs and stuff. But that may be just the wipeout that Sui needs to get out of this market structure. I don't know. Apart from that, again, it's just looks a bit messy, doesn't it, this one, because there's no real horizontal with Sui. You know, it's just obviously working in like a downwards channel. You know, if you wanted to put this into a channel, you could as well. You know, if you wanted to put it into a downwards channel, you could do that as well. Whatever you wanted, really. You know, maybe it would come in for one more drop and then done. Holding patterns. Yeah. Good old patterns, eh? Yeah, apart from that, not much else, don't think. We have got 4 minutes to go until US Open now. 4 minutes to go until US Open. Obviously, for those of you that aren't on Stonksy as well, we don't have any offers on at the moment, apart from the bot 20 code, which obviously gets you 20% off your first month. We did obviously have some offers on these over the last few months, some good offers as well, but we haven't. There will obviously be upcoming offers, but for anyone that's interested in Stonksy, obviously you can take advantage of the monthly one, 20% off your first month with code BOT20. That's on this one. But if you would be interested in joining lifetime or annual, and obviously there's not an offer on at the moment, but I could give you like a personalized offer. If you want to drop a message to the X account or email in about that, just say, I was watching your stream, you mentioned an offer on lifetime or annual. Let me know and I can do you a personalized offer. There's nothing on them at the moment, like I said, because we took the offers off after running them for a bit. But yeah, if anyone is watching and you want to join and you don't want to join on the monthly one, you would consider obviously joining on the lifetime or annual. I can offer you a nice personalized discount, obviously for watching the stream. Just like I said, drop the X account a message or email in. You can find the email on the website, and yeah, I'll sort that for you. So obviously for anyone watching there's something for you guys. George took a break and didn't check crypto for 9 months. Just let it sit. A couple coins went down the drain. Hello, George. How we doing? So you've not checked crypto for 9 months? What, since January? What have you been doing? Have you, when you say that, do you mean you had holdings in there as well and just kind of left them? Or you just exited the market and then have come back and looked at coins? Tell me more, mate. Tell me more about what have you been doing for the last 9 months? And did you still have holdings, or did you sell everything and walk away? Gary, how we doing, mate? Great to see you, Gary. Yeah, I left them. Mate, that's crazy. I mean, I assume maybe it's been a nice break. Do you feel recharged and stuff? But I couldn't just not check it. I just couldn't not check it. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you've done that. Some strong willpower. I would still be checking every day, even if I was trying to not check and trying to take a break or whatever. I would still be checking every day. Blast. Let's see, Blast. Obviously, Ethereum L2 in it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. To be fair, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, since blimey, yes. I mean, I suppose it depends on where you're running from. 9 months ago, we were running into January, aren't we? Like, that's obviously a steep drop. I mean, that period in January was horrific. But to be fair, it is just retesting demand, and it has, for the time being, held. I actually think Blast may actually be a super high risk reward play here. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Stonksy caught the drop nicely as well. Yeah, Stonksy caught the drop on the daily beautifully, but I think that actually, in terms of a risk reward, and again, this isn't financial advice, and this isn't the exact position I would take, but just as like an example, you've got the demand back in June where it put in its low and then rallied. You've got it retesting it now. So your invalidation is it just goes to new lows. So you could have it as tight as you wanted, really. But say you gave yourself a 15% stop, and then you could have to take profit again as wild as you want up towards here. Obviously, is daily. You can see we pinged it there, didn't we, on this day, 27th of July. This is obviously daily daily resistance, and then you could leave a runner for if it does end up getting above there, and then obviously I think in towards there would kind of be your objective, wouldn't it, if it can. But in terms of risk reward, it's literally basically close to all-time lows, isn't it? It's just held demand quite well. Risk reward on that is actually really good in terms of a swing. Not now. I've checked everything. Went down the drain. Oh, it is dingling. Yeah, it is. Yeah, look online. It's a scam or something. They lied about percentage. Oh, really? I don't know then. I don't know. I mean, it went up with Ethereum, didn't it? When Ethereum was having its rally, it went up with ETH, I think, for the most part. And then it's obviously dropped back down. Let's see what's Bitcoin doing. We're selling off again. So we sold off yesterday, didn't we, on open? It's looking like maybe we're selling off again today. Let's see what this thing's doing. I have added to my short ETF on this thing. So yeah, that's the one I've lost the most on. I know a year ago, Matt TMG liked it when it was good. There's loads of coins like that, isn't there? There's loads of coins that this time a year ago looked promising or were really good, and maybe you've just lost the way or something over the past year, or obviously just the PA in general has been poor. Silver's just hit a new all-time high for the first time in 15 years. Let's have a look. There it is. Bloody hell. I remember looking at silver like ages ago when it was down here. It's crazy to think that like you could have been holding it for over a year and it's just a 2x, but if you're holding it with size, that is good. I mean, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Wow. That is crazy good, isn't it? That is crazy good. What a run. Things have just really heated up, haven't they, on metals over the past like couple of months? But I mean, you look at gold, it's just one straight line to the upside. It's literally had 3 red months in the past year and a half. That's crazy. All-time high on silver for the first time in 15 years. Can you imagine being just a massive silver bull? Like, we think it's sometimes bad in crypto, don't we? Where you have to wait a couple months or half a year or whatever for altcoins to pump. But can you imagine just DCAing into silver for the past 15 years and it's only just hit an all-time high? Like we actually are kind of like fried in crypto, aren't we? To like, in terms of time and how things pump. I mean, you look at the stock market as well, and it's exactly the same. But you know, imagine waiting 15 years for something to hit an all-time high. I got a heap of silver and gold in a safe deposit box. Nice. Been holding physical silver since $16. Have you? Very nice. So that's a good couple of X in it. Silver doing more than gold. Long term, it's becoming much rarer. They use it in loads of missiles. Oh, is that true? Yeah. Oh, nice. It's just catching up in it as well. The run on gold has been like more fierce and stuff. Actually, well, when you look at the chart, it has, I suppose, relative to to the trajectory, it's basically kind of matched it, I suppose, and in terms of percentage, it just looks a lot more mad on gold. I suppose gold will go to 10k pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know in terms of estimates because I won't pretend to be like a metals expert or whatever. But I mean, the uptrend is clear in it. It's in a strong uptrend. So I waited 50 years for Bitcoin to start. Is that right? Yeah. Uh, 500 ounce of silver in one Tomahawk missile. Oh wow, didn't know that. Didn't know that. What's the market cap of silver? So maybe this has gone up a little bit. Maybe it's around the $3 trillion mark now or something, but it's still massively. It's like almost a tenth of gold in it. It's basically like a tenth of gold, which is like pretty low. I have two coins for you to look at if you don't mind, Kernel and Alio. Yeah, of course, mate. Anything. This thing and Alio. Kernel doing well. Yeah, Kernel's doing very well. It's literally as easy as it gets, isn't it, on this? It is as you can't really have it much easier. It's literally just in a range. It's literally just in a range. Fun starts if it obviously breaks up. If it breaks down, then obviously you've got instant kind of SR there. But I think anywhere in and around there, you know, that's like a, what would that be? Yeah, that's like a 15% region. I mean, again, it might not be the most thing because it spent a couple months in there. You would assume maybe like it wouldn't drop just like 10%, but it may do. Yeah, it may do. I think in there looks good. Yeah. So again, you know, obviously, if it breaks above resistance, then maybe it comes and fills in the wick. If it breaks down, I would be looking in between like 16 and 14.5 cents. And that's literally it. There's nothing else really that needs to be covered on that. It's just range bound in it. You've got resistance, support. So, you know, if you're trading it, instead of spot holding, then you obviously buy down here and you sell up here until either or breaks. Alio's doing well. That's been on a nice uptrend. And as you can see, obviously, it's got daily resistance in there. So, yeah, this is another one. you probably wouldn't want to see it come all the way down here, because that would obviously be a bit of a drop. Obviously, technically down here is demand, but if you're focusing on upside, obviously, yeah, you just need to break above here. And then like where would you be looking at? Maybe in towards 53 cents. 70 cents. 92 cents. Targets look all right to me. Yeah, there we go. And again, you could look at downside levels, but you obviously don't want it to run back towards 20 cents, do you? Like after that, it is at resistance, but hopefully it pushes through for you. I have a very nice platinum ETF. Do you, Delta? Yeah. Good entry point, you say? On what? On this? If you talk about entry points, then you'd be entering at resistance. So typically, obviously, we would say no. Again, I don't give financial advice out, so it's completely up to you. But typically, personally, I wouldn't long resistance. If you need to get in on this, then ideally, obviously, yeah, you want it to have a pullback. Now, obviously, we've got some decent SR in there, haven't we? You can see resistance, push through, support, drop through, resistance, drop through, and then it just melted up through. But there is, obviously, if you look back, there's some decent SR around 24.5 cents. So maybe if you're lucky enough to get that, I don't know. Kernel, and again, same thing. It's at the resistance end of the range. So obviously, at anything more towards 18 cents is the higher risk reward if you're looking to trade the range, or obviously just get in where the value is currently. I think Bitcoin's dropping down a bit in it. I think, yeah, it's dropping down a bit. So sell off on US Open. That seems to have come back a bit, doesn't it? Selling off on US Open, that seems to have come back a bit. Borg is super strong. Kernel entry. You got in at 150, 15 cents on Alio. Kernel entry. Yeah, just draw out the range. And then obviously, ideally, you would want it as close to support as you can get. So as close to 18 cents as you can get. And then obviously, if it ends up breaking through that, then to look for down here as well, would be obviously where you would want a reaction from it. But it's obviously towards the upper side. It's up towards the resistance side in it at the moment. So, if you buy in, ideally, you want to buy where people had the chance to buy on these dips before it ripped again. You got in at 15. Oh, so nice. Yes, you're on like approaching the 2.5x, aren't you, on Alio? Very nice, mate. Yeah, that's a solid buy. Solid buy. So you got in down there. Well, so you bought in the April crash. I saw Crypto Bull tweet about Kernel, that's why. Yeah, it's up towards resistance. I mean, obviously, you can do whatever you want, but personally, I wouldn't buy up there. Just there's no like major value, is there? You're just buying in the middle of the range. In my opinion, of course. You may think I'm wrong. Look at Nvidia. Look at Nvidia go. Crazy. Well, yeah, we're dropping down, aren't we? We're dropping down now. But yeah, we did do this yesterday as well. What alts are you looking at getting into, or not sure? I would love to buy Asta lower. Lower. I fumbled Asta at 158. I had a great long on Asta, and I just kind of done too much overthinking and messed around with it too much. When it was, behave. When it was down here, yeah, long Asta when it was down here, 158, and fumbled it before it went and done this. So it don't get me wrong, it is down into a good area, but being greedy, I would like to buy it back down towards where I fumbled it, or even lower, down towards 130 maybe. I don't know. Depends on what Bitcoin's going to do. Obviously, technically, it is at support now. Also, pump. Would love to get in on pump. Obviously, back down towards here, but as close to kind of like, if we can. It just depends on what the market's going to do, doesn't it? But I know 2 levels of interest, 0.4 and then 0.35. Again, I would love to buy pump down there if I could. Interested in XBL here. Not pulled the trigger on this. I kind of want to see how it forms because, we've obviously had another, run up, sell off, strong sell off, then kind of leveled off. Then we come up, obviously hit resistance, and then have sold off again. So, yeah, I kind of want to see how it forms. Again, this was the plan the other day. We looked at this when it was at like 90 cents or something, looking for another leg lower, which obviously it's done now. So I kind of want it to, maybe come down a bit more, test demand down here, and then, range again, and then look for expansion. So as long as it puts in another pattern like this that it did here, just ranging, making sure that it stays above 65 cents if it comes into contact, then XPL is one I'm interested in as well. Just kind of looking at the ones that have got the most attention, obviously the most backing, and obviously attention in the market. Yeah, of course, mate, of course. Yeah, they're probably the 3 I'm most interested in at the moment. XPL, Asta, and Pump. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with it. What about everyone else? Anyone else want to give us your top 3 altcoins? Put your comments in. Give us your top 3 altcoins. I'm interested to know everyone else's. Yeah, absolutely, George. It's great to It's great to see what other people are looking at and interested in. Wow. This thing just keeps going up, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Do you hold coins then, or more of a trader? Yeah, yeah, both spot and perps trading. Yeah. Your biggest holdings are XRP, HBAR, and Sol. Good performers. Obviously, depending on where you bought them. I'm guessing you bought them maybe a while ago, but they're great performers, them. And to be fair, they're ones that have held the value in the market as well, aren't they? You know, XRP, HBAR, and Sol. If you actually go through and you compare them to, you know, maybe other ones, then obviously Sol is not that far away from, you know, its highs. XRP obviously the same, and then HBAR is like not massively far away. I mean, you look to where it reached, obviously up here, but it's not, you know, it's not terribly down, is it? There's still a lot of alts that are like, you know, that's 42% down from the kind of area where it was topping out at back in December, January. But it's not terrible. You know, there's probably plenty of alts that we can go and have a look at that are down like 80, 90%. But yeah, hopefully you should still be up nicely on them, I think. Sell off continuing. XRP 0.3/6. So between 13.60 cents, HBAR 3 cents and 10 cents, and Sol at 20. Mate, you're laughing. You are absolutely laughing. Yeah, you're laughing. Even though the fact you walked away for 9 months, you're laughing, aren't you? You might have a few that have gone to rubbish, but I'm telling you what, with them entries you've done, you are probably definitely within like the top majority of that top portion of people that have just nailed market buys, because you know you're anywhere between like 10 and 5x on your XRP buys. You know, same for HBAR, and same for Sol. You know, Sol you're over. You're like 11x to 12x. So, you know, you've absolutely smashed the market. So well done. Very, very well done. Video just smoking the market in it. Look at that. Crazy. Utterly crazy. Yeah, mate, you should be. You should be. Well done. You should be very happy with them. You should be very, very happy with how you've played them. Yeah, the sell-off's extending a little bit. Also hoping for Sui and Say to get up there. What were your entries on them, if you want to share? If you don't want to, obviously, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming down a bit more now. Pretty aggressive sell-off after opening. And you don't really have to look at other charts, but, you know, obviously if you do, they will just look incredibly similar. So obviously, drop off, rally up, drop off. And, you know, we'll see this across the market now. Just no matter what you look at, for the most part anyway. Yeah, just drop off, rally up, another drop off. Yeah, we could get a solid wipeout on the market, perhaps. Oh, mate, yeah, you're laughing on that as well. You're laughing on that. So you're at like a 4x on Sui and probably nearly a 2x on Say. Yeah, solid buys, mate. Solid buys. Well done. Well done. You can't, you know, you shouldn't give yourself any stick for them. You shouldn't give yourself any stick at all. You should be very, very happy with yourself. Do not give yourself any stick for market performance when you've got in coins like that at them prices. You should be very, very happy with yourself, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, that is towards the end of today's stream now. So big thank you to those that have watched. If it's your first time watching here, make sure you subscribe. And of course, like I said, come and join us at Stonksy. You can get 20% off your first month on this plan, the monthly plan, with code BOT20. We don't have any annual or lifetime plans deals running at the moment because we closed them off after running some big discounts. But if you are watching this stream and you want to join on annual or lifetime, message the KCEX account or drop us an email. You can obviously find both on the website, stonksy.io. It's in the description. And just drop an email and just say, I was watching your stream and you mentioned discount on lifetime or annual, and I'll give you a personalized, decently sized discount on lifetime or annual if you want to come and join us. Apart from that, obviously, you can sign up on the monthly. But yeah, thanks for watching. Obviously, I'll be back tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I will be streaming in the morning instead. So do bear that in mind. I'll be streaming in the morning, not typical afternoon covering US Open. So that is the only change to streaming time for this week. Apart from that, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you've nailed in some trades. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. Remember, in the morning, if you're around. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.